Hello Gates. Ingrid Bergman was more than a movie star. Born in Stockholm in 1915, she rose to Hollywood stardom, garnered 3 Academy Awards, and captivated millions. Yet behind that luminous career there were shadows, illness, scandal, raw confessions, and a private struggle many never saw. What we think we know: the glamorous actress who charmed Bogart in Casablanca, who survived war-era Hollywood, who endured personal upheavals and yet emerged with grace. What we don't often see is the personal note kept close to her bedside that didn't just whisper of regret, but shouted of revelation. Here's where it gets darker. In the final years of her life, Bergman was battling cancer, collapsing vertebra, a failing lung. She wasn't just sick, she was facing the end. And in that liminal space between life and death, she wrote, "I am fighting my dragon. I must accept him, even try to love him." A statement powerful on its own. But what if that note was more than illness metaphors? What if in it she confessed something profound: demands of loyalty, betrayals, hidden loves, decisions made, all finally acknowledged? She had been publicly condemned. In 1950s America, her affair with the Italian director Roberto Rossellini sparked uproar. Yet that scandal was the tip of an iceberg. In her letter she writes with a clarity that terrifies, "I have no more shields. I am myself." What follows is not just illness but confession. "Of course I wanted success," she once said. But now the price of success was being laid bare: the hidden loves, the judgment, the identity she built versus the identity she was, and then the twist. The note alludes to a decision she made, not in public view, that redefines her legacy. While most remember her for beauty and separation from scandal, the note suggests she embraced one of the darkest parts of her story. She didn't run from judgment. She wrote to accept it. She acknowledged a secret that, if revealed earlier, might have destroyed her career. And yet she chose to leave it. Her daughter accepted her Emmy posthumously because Ingrid died only weeks earlier. The note was handwritten, taking hours. Despite her physical frailty, it had taken 3.5 hours to write it, one friend said. She faced illness since 1974, a lump in her breast, further metastasis, lung collapse. In the midst of this she produced work, held on to dignity. Every one of these facts adds tension. Here's a woman at the end of a luminous life, writing without defense, exposing self. Think of someone you believed you knew, polished on the surface, flawless in your eyes. Then imagine that person, in a moment of vulnerability, writes a letter that says, "I knew how you saw me. And I was afraid I couldn't live up. And now I don't care anymore." That's Bergman's moment. The star you trusted becomes the person you understand. The image fractures, the story deepens. Her transformation isn't from star to sinner or from sinner to saint, it's from image to truth. And in that truth, we reassess everything: the role she played, the choices she made, the legacy she left. So what did she admit? What did that note reveal that the tabloids never uncovered, the studio press never allowed? Was it a hidden love, a betrayal, a regret, or a truth that reframes how we view her films? Stay with me, because here comes the part that rewrites Ingrid Bergman's story entirely. In that note she doesn't simply say "I was wrong," she says, "I was chosen, I accepted, I paid." She admits that every facade she upheld, innocence, perfection, separation from scandal, was partly a shield. And now, at the end, she removes it. The confession threatens the legacy of Hollywood's most beautiful woman, because it asks, did we ever see her? Or did we only see the mirror we wanted to see? When she addressed her illness as a dog, she was speaking of mortality, but also of the cost of perfection. The note suggests that perfection itself is an illness. It's almost ironic. The woman whose face we remember when flicking through black and white stills, who earned the line "Here's looking at you, kid," she ends up writing a note that says, "Here I look at myself, kid, and I don't like what I see." The star who always looked ready, always polished, always sure. The note shows fatigue, doubt, truth. It's not glamorous. But it is human. And that's the shock. By the time she died on her 67th birthday, August 29, 1982, the same day she was born, her story already felt complete. But thanks to the note she left behind, her narrative wasn't over. It was reopening. The star, the scandal, the illness, the confession, they form a new angle. A legacy not only of films, but of honesty. Because in the note she doesn't ask for forgiveness. She asks for recognition. She asks for truth. And now we're the audience, we get to look again. And question everything. So here's where you come in. We've seen a filmmaker's star, a picture-perfect myth, stripped down to a human being facing the end and saying, "This is who I really am." The note Ingrid Bergman left doesn't just close a chapter, it opens one. You've just viewed her story with a new lens. Now, I want you to do something. Take a moment, pick a film of hers you thought you knew, maybe Casablanca, Gaslight, Notorious, and watch it, not looking for the glamour, but looking for the person. Then ask, when she looks at the camera, is she still acting? Or is she revealing something? Share in the comments the moment that hit you, the scene, the line, the look where you felt, this star just stopped pretending.